I just got finished. Well, first off, of course, I did a proper shift today. I was planning on going live like way later, like after dark or something. That's usually, I think, the better time to do a live stream. Sometimes, though, you just can't wait. Sometimes, for whatever reason, you just feel that you're just so fresh off of some new information that you've learned something. And in this case, I definitely learned a lot. Like I got a whole bunch of information, just kind of absolutely overwhelmed with everything. So, and there's a specific reason. What's up, C-Fals? I gotta really just kind of let this one roll because I'm not doing the format where I can share clips. So I gotta be as animated as possible. Long time ago, back in the days of Creek Squad land, when everything was all hokey dory, and as long as you thought the same way, and always said, "Hey, Upchurch is the goat," everything was all gravy and good, right? Oh look, my neighborhood alert. Somebody's been complaining about shots. Shut the fuck up. You're in Florida. So I just spent I don't know how much time watching Gotcha Man because, well, like I was saying, some time ago, years ago, I remember when that dude's channel was 100% uh, anti-Upchurch, kind of a parody troll channel, right? And it came up recently because last night during my proper live, somebody jumped in the comments, and I should have suspected something because the commenter was just shoehorning in his name and saying you should let Gotcha Man know he's stupid for calling Ryan's logo a crypto coin or something like that. So bear with me because I got a lot to cover and I don't have too much time to do it. So I was always an OG Gotcha Man fan. What's up, Sherry? Slash Yo Main Girl. One of the channels, the OG channels, that was chased off because of something that it looks like Gotcha Man learned the hard way. He calls it the Upchurch black hole. Please forget any inappropriate jokes there for this specific case. But it's true. It's true. He came to this conclusion. He, for a while, was, doing pretty well, just being funny and clowning on Creek Squad or Crack Squad and Upchurch. And then I remember the whole flip, the big flip, which was absolutely confusing to me. Here was a guy that was so hello to everybody. I'm gonna rant and I'll try to acknowledge as many people as I can. This was a channel that was built on just clowning, and he's one of the best at it, as far as I'm concerned. As a content creator, a video creator, an editor, he's got some real talent. He's a hardworking man. He's got his own business. Props to him. I remember losing a lot of respect for him because he went from this die-hard, his roots was this thing, and he was calling out the bullshit when it was bullshit, and then all of a sudden he flipped, and I don't remember what caused the flip. He just went all in on pro Ryan Upchurch, everything, Creek Squad, to the point where I'd be like, dude, he's gone simp slash glazer. It's okay, and you can absolutely be a fan, and that doesn't equate into being a simp and or a glazer. I want to make that point. And I just learned, because I was curious about the comment, why would somebody, what's up, White Dragon? Hey, Faith. How old is it now? So last night somebody's jumping in, telling me again, make sure Gotcha gets this message. I don't have a pathway to reaching Gotcha Man. But I am open. I'm an open book, and I was a fan, then I wasn't a fan, and then I just watched all these videos of him, and it's like critiquing, watching a man trying his best to stay in the lane that he believes is right, but you can see the conflict start to build slowly and slowly. And then he made this one video, which was the breaking point, where the Ryan Upchurch simps, not the fans that are capable of taking a critique and just knowing, hey, I'm a fan, it doesn't affect me. It's not going to affect the way I look at him. If you look at information that's true and you don't change your mind, that's a whole other thing. That's Glazer territory. So he makes this video titled The Black Hole of Ryan Upchurch, where he details, and I saved it because it's valuable intel. It's the truth. he's making the point, and he wasn't challenging or trying to gaslight anybody. I hate that word. He's just talking about, it seems like when you're a fan of Ryan Upchurch, you're dragged into this black hole where you are forced to pick a side. He was only asking at that time, I think it was some months ago already, if he should go on to Triple T's channel. I think thankfully he didn't do that, because we all know how that's panning out right now. By the way, I think Triple T is on a milk poster or something. He's on the milk carton. Have you seen this man? The last video I saw was of a woman that's not his wife giving him a lap dance, and so hopefully he's living the good life. Who knows? And he really totally changed Dagburn's fate, according to Ryan Upchurch and Creek Squad, which is also confusing for them. And I know personally how confusing it is in general because of my own history, being in the community, and then all of a sudden, you know, I was like a weapon. I was shared as long as I went after the enemies of Ryan Upchurch. So Gotcha Man only proposed the question, hey, I'm thinking about going on the Rundown, the Triple T's show there, and he always would beef with me if I said anything negative about his boy. And then he makes some point about how he said something positive about Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll is a talented artist, and I got to hear more audio of the things that Upchurch recorded of him saying without his consent. He was just being a pal, and I don't know how anybody thinks this look is, but I saw it where he's saying, hey man, look, I know you're an independent everything, you're anti-label, but look, at least look at it this way, at least one of us got in, and we could take it from the inside and rip it open. And instead of looking at that as a positive, Upchurch goes and blows it up and blasts it out. That's not a good look, and that's going to make the mainstream industry that Jelly Roll is in bad and uncomfortable for him, but I'm sure he'll survive. But it's been very interesting for me to see yet another person, another detractor, another person, another man that had to learn the hard way that if you do get involved with the, I guess in this case, this independent YouTuber slash celebrity, you have to be completely all in like it's the frickin' mafia, like pinprick and everything, get some Catholic cards, Saint Maria, whatever, burn them and do a whole ritual. The way Creek Squad can look like a cult is terrifying to me. And I just saw, as he continued to be more true with himself about everything he was going through, the more his audience would turn on him. I'm absolutely a blood oath. And it ain't, I mean, I'm not going to say it's like a mafia, but let's look at it like this way. We know some of their tactics, right? They do the doxing, they do the harassing phone calls, they do the intimidation, they try to make content out of messing with people's lives. And for a little bit, I was also on that receiving end. We all grow, we get tougher, and I'm grateful that all of us have come forward. And now there's another one. And not only did Gotcha go from being on, you know, you all are forcing me and pigeonholing me into this corner to be only Ryan Upchurch and only Creek Squad, it's so uncomfortable, I want to react to other music, I want to talk about another artist, and all of a sudden the shit hits the fan. And he is like completely lambasted and made out, you'd think Satan was a choir boy next to this man, the way everybody absolutely just started to go at him in the comments. Oh, you traitor, losing this. The people were unsubscribing en masse. The dude, to me, I mean, I need an opinion. I need a fair opinion because I'm aware of the optics, right? Do you personally, and I'm sure I'm not going to get an immediate response, but I'm interested in real thoughts on this. Is he somebody that, and I've heard it said before, that seems to go wherever the wind blows? Is he somebody that seems to only give attention to the ones that give him the most attention or seem to give him money? That's up to you and your discretion, but as I really took the time and I saved like 4 videos and I went on just kind of clip after clip after clip, not watching the whole thing but getting the gist, I mean, it really did a number on him. And he just felt like, I mean, imagine that you know you have free speech. You know you want to be able to say everything that you feel. That is our damn First Amendment right, for one. What do we have if we don't have our own truth to share? What the hell's the point of a platform like this if we can't speak our own truth? So he simply changes his mind. And oh my God, I can't believe how crazy people react. I got to see even more footage of Upchurch just acting a fool. Let me be very clear about something too. Remember, I'm not too crazy into all of the country rap music genre, but I have been starting to dip my toes in a little bit and to get a feel for, who's got what. I'm an OG hip hop guy. I'm a city boy. I'm from New York. I live in Florida right now. I grew up on, Tupac, as I said over and over again, mostly Tupac, Snoop, Nas, so on and so forth. I mention them a lot because that was, and Busta Rhymes, so on and so forth. So just the community now of country rap, I think it looks like a soap opera, and that makes me sad for one. And I point the finger mostly at Upchurch for this. Acal's music is actually like his diss track compared to Ryan Upchurch was actually Chef's Kiss. I think he did way better. I hear people talk about how talented Ryan Upchurch is. Yes, of course. I mean, he's gotten the success he has. He's talented, but you gotta be able to say something, take out the bias, and just call a W a W. I absolutely believe that Acal destroyed Upchurch in that back and forth, and he did use what Gotcha Men referred to as a loophole because Calhoun just bodied Upchurch in the music genre entirely in country wapping, doing country wapping. Because he did that, and then he said, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to address this anymore because all Upchurch did was poke and poke and poke and poke until I finally came out. And there was like 5 different artists that also had something not very nice to say about your golden boy Upchurch, people. And if there's so many people out there, when do you start to ask yourself the question, why is this becoming the new optic of him? Could there be something wrong? Is there something to it? Look at all of his actions that have taken place on this very platform. Do you really give him no accountability? Do you hold zero accountability to somebody who has misused a platform? I know that's a reckless thing to say, but weaponizing his community and making them go after smaller channels and making them essentially harass them to the point where they don't even want to bother with it anymore. I've been talking with somebody that I'm going to respect their anonymity here, we're in talks about sharing that individual story because I watched this person also get dragged through the mud. This is not Yo Main Girl, this is another person who did nothing but try to make a positive channel about Upchurch and Creek Squad, and all she got in return was one of the gatekeepers or one of the people with the higher sub count that happens to be friends with Wyan, said something bad, and then that seemed to just echo. And it's amazing. It's like the butterfly effect. It starts as this little drop in the ocean, and then the ripple effect goes so crazy. The ocean to me is like your discords, your little community chats, these channels that go live for 10 frickin' hours just to panel up and talk nothing but smack about other people as if they have no lives of their own. That will never be a flex to me, and it's crazy to me. I'm embarrassed that like a few years ago I used to let that bother me. So thank God, and I truly mean that, thank God that I was able to get mature and understand you need a thick skin if you're going to agree to hit that button and be live. That is always going to be the reality of putting yourself out there. So for right now, I just want to make it clear, I am now, because I've listened to enough songs comparatively to Upchurch's music, I'm a fan of Adam Calhoun's music, more so than Ryan Upchurch's. And I like Adam Calhoun's convictions, morality. The worst I've heard Upchurch try to say about Calhoun in that live reaction, which was pathetic. He needs to stick with the day job. The doing reacting did nothing. He repeats lyrics that weren't there so he could reframe it and make fun of something that wasn't there to begin with. And it's such a low-handed way to go about trying to get support or brainwash the audience that you know is loyal to you. What kind of a way is that to show respect and humility to the people that have given you the blessings of which you get to enjoy every day? Even though we all know you're still probably getting sued regarding the Rodney case. I don't know if there's a settlement or whatnot. I just know, as far as I was able to go, 2023, 36 attempts at, just dismissing the case, but it wasn't happening. And also Brondax, Just in Time, all of these people that he's gone after, super talented. Tom McDonald is absolutely one of the goats in this. You can't tell me because he's Canadian he somehow has less talent. The dude has more hits than and this I don't know this to be a fact, but I'm going to assume pretty safely that he is more successful than Upchurch. Unless you stay absolutely regulated to this one little spot in the YouTube atmosphere, this corner of dirt in YouTube, which is just about the same 500 to 1,000 names I see day in and day out, circle jerking their days and nights and lives away, all to simp, and that's it, nothing more, and to attack anybody on the outside. What happened to being able to acknowledge and like multiple artists, multiple genres of music? It's called music. It is not called Ryan Upchurch's music. It's not called any one artist, this is my land. We're all absolutely free to enjoy everyone and everything that we can. But apparently on YouTube, specifically within this threshold, this crazy little part of this platform, if you dare mention that you are a fan of Ryan Upchurch's and you ever make the mistake of saying you like somebody that is not him, well, the floodgates are open, baby. Get ready, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. And I don't see that in too many other communities. Also, when the hell did it happen that Ryan Upchurch, he did what now? He glazed the Swifties, Taylor Swift's community, or Taylor Swift herself. I haven't seen the clip, but I've heard it enough in other clips to see that that's the case. Was he trying to monopolize on that? Was he trying to do some sort of moves to see if they can mix and mash and have the same fan base? Was he trying to grift off of the Taylor Swift fan base because he sees the same level of blind loyalty and trolling and harassing that they do online? Look, you come in here and you hear me say something that you completely disagree with about your boy. That's fine, and you know what you're allowed to do? Everything, okay? Everything, within reason, of course. Please don't try to dox me or roll up on me like good old Triple T. Remember, hashtag save the palms. Just make sure you keep them all moisturized in case you gotta smack a motherfucker. Fuck it. I'm just gonna say motherfucker. I don't care. So, I'm still in shock. So, I know Taylor Swift's community, and I don't want to say in general the entire Creek Squad community, but it just seems like more and more people seem to wake up to this more and more and more, and I don't see any other artists, quote-unquote, isolating themselves the way Upchurch does. He's got his ranch, he's got his gate and his guards, and how many real friends does he have left? I mean, I really don't understand. We have to acknowledge he's got a problem, okay? My concern starts and ends at the point that he has potential he could reach and do so much better. Outside of that, though, I'm just going to call it for what it is. There's something wrong in the Upchurch land. Something's not quite turning right with the gears. The pupils are a real thing that we can all see. And if the boy is taking too much, remember, like, what was it, 6 months ago, he said he takes Adderall here and there. That's still there on one of his live streams. That wasn't a cry for help. That's him just sharing a regular day with us. I don't hate on him using his free speech to speculate and think about things, but he takes no accountability, makes no apologies whenever he finds himself making an actual mistake and hurting real people in real life. Life is not just what happens on YouTube. Life is everything that happens outside of YouTube. And when you start to blur the lines between those two and go after people because of things within the YouTube sphere, you have become a bigger part of a problem. You know what? I say damn you all to hell, because you're going to be the reason that platforms like YouTube and others get more legislation and regulation, and we're going to lose this free speech. This, even though we deal with a lot of censorship and a lot of codes, we have to use silly, stupid, damn words to tiptoe around the things we just want to say with our full chest here, and it's just disheartening. So my intention originally was to talk about me going through this journey, watching Gotcha Mans, and I'm going to give him a shout out because I would love people, What's up, Rusty, man? Peace to you. I hope all is well with you and your family, by the way. Oh, and, just to make it about me for a moment, I think I'm on the 6 month sobriety mark. Even though there's a YouTuber out there who goes live just about every day for 14 some odd hours, and here and there he likes to talk about how I'm always drunk. That's okay. You have to be okay with people saying whatever the hell they want. It's just when that mob mentality crap kicks in and we see it go all over the place to the point where it's affecting the person that you think you're protecting. Do you think treating little like crying Ryan like a baby is helping his brand? Do you think the other massive fan bases look at Creek Squad, or in this case Crack Squad, when it applies and says, yeah, man, I'd ride out with them, I'd have a barbecue, I'd have a few beers? Hell no, they're probably creeped out as hell. There's a few names I don't even want to mention because I know their little tactics and how they roll on these YouTube streets. The way they go about trying to do these background checks and getting where you work at and your family's address, your mother, your father, your brother, and everything. It's a sickness, and if you're participating in that, you're clearly ill. And if you cannot be able to change your mind, you have a greater problem. A far greater problem than anybody can. There's no medicine that can be administered to you. You have to allow yourself to evolve, to change your mind about anything. And that is really just such a simple statement, but it appears to be lost on so many. And why is that? I don't understand. I don't understand. Can we not, first and foremost, respect ourselves as individuals and be proud of the convictions and the ideals that we carry with us? Are they really that easily compromised because we find ourselves in a group that maybe throws a few donos, or you get like 60 of them saying, hey, attaboy, or they share a link here and there, and then you feel indebted like I did for all of 4 months? That's all it took for my soul, apparently. That is something I have to live with. For 4 months, I woke up every day feeling like I had to simp for that man because I felt indebted because of all the new subs, and I made it clear right now where I stand. Holy shit, where the hell have you been? What's up, Stuck at Night? I gave up on trying to get a hold of you, G. Where was I? Sorry, I just got a nostalgia run in the brain stem here. But the point I'm making, I think, is pretty damn simple. Changing your mind is something that should always be celebrated. Be aware of the optics that you're creating when you go there and pretend to be acting on behalf of someone that you hold as the GOAT or a legend. Oh yeah, and I was reminiscing about how cheap I sold myself with a platform. I thought I had it all for about 3 months. The 4th month got a little choppy. And every day I woke up thinking and feeling like I'm so indebted I have to get on there and talk about the things that I know the community wants to hear and likes, and that the Golden God himself might shout me out again like he often did, because I'm going after the people he deems his enemies. And I really try to think about the people who I helped damage. I mean, there was a channel, name dropping, I don't even give a shit. Tony Dodge's channel was a big one, and Creek Squad successfully chased that man away, all with allegations. I know he's a creepy dude. Remember, I started to do that Crack Squad shit. I started to reach his moderators, his old moderators, which were all women, and I started getting like the tea on how he was behaving with them. And yeah, guess what? Shocker. The dude was absolutely being a scumbag and was like a power crazy guy. But who gave me any such authority to try to monetize on that? And that is one of the reasons why I choose not. I don't give a shit about ad revenue, blah, blah, blah. I'm just grateful that there is a platform that I can speak on. I still plan on doing a proper live tonight. It's not always going to be about this, but it has become an intertwined piece of my life that is always going to be there, that it just happened and gave me whiplash, and I'm like, what the hell? What in the hell? To this day, I'm like, that all really happened. I went from, there's like 6 people in my chat while I'm talking in my bathrobe to 2,000 to 10,000, 58,000 in a single day. And I don't think that's built for anybody. Maybe some people are special and they're built for that shit. That was not good or healthy for me, and I think, even though I didn't understand the intention, I think there were people trying to warn me in their own way. And if you are one of the people that can identify with any of the things I just said, please take a look in the mirror. Evaluate what it is you're doing and find the whys. Also look at the whats. What are you doing to feel that you are a part of said community? Again, there are a couple names because they're so shisty, but they're getting called out by the bigger names that do this real just underhanded crap, like trying to get people fired, mess with their livelihoods, calling CPS, wanting to see them live on the streets like that's some sort of W. That is a regression in humanity, is what that is. And I just wish to see some level of reflection and accountability in the people that think they are doing some sort of good deed. Or if you really haven't grown out of this like kind of high school mentality, oh, I'm in the cool group now, because look, everybody is saying I'm saying the right things, and I'm going to the other channels that aren't saying the right things, and I'm saying all these things, I'm trying to poke them. I felt provoked enough to the point where I decided I was going to come back to YouTube after I'm happy with the new full-time job I have. Yes, I'm guilty. I have changed jobs a lot in my life, and I'm sure somebody somewhere with a channel will have a field day and make fun of me for that. You're either unemployed and a loser because you're using YouTube, or you have a job, a sucky job, and you're judged because of the job you have. How about, my God, I'm so grateful that I have benefits, or I even have a job, a roof over my head, food to eat, and I'm capable to show the love and support to the people I love in this life. When did that become something that we would honestly and try to end? Why would that be a goal? And this is why I condemn, and I'm still trying to separate the crack squad from the creek squad, because I really believe, like all those people that were in that thread that Upchurch decided to just disable comments, those were people that were calling him to account for canceling a tour because they made the plans, they took the days off, they lost money to ensure they could be there. And he just couldn't have it. He had an overload of self-accountability, which is something he's not accustomed to, so he must have crashed out and just decided to disable comments. And his reaction to Calhoun's rap video with everybody else that was in it respectfully, by the way, that was a banging ass rap video that Upchurch perfectly ruined by reacting. And also, remember, CMD, the independent company that works with Upchurch, they are not contractually anything, apparently, but I was able to confirm it thanks to many of you that showed me the video where he's calling them out about his money. They have come for this channel, and apparently they're going for every channel to try to silence reactors. The clip is not that old. It's like 6 months old. He did a whole, hey Tom McDonald, what are you doing, you greedy piece of shit? Stop going after people so they can make money, or something like that. And now the company that he is affiliated with that works with him is trying to silence other channels. What's that about? That doesn't age well. Can you at least, accept how that looks? He has come into this channel recently and taken the effort to clip a piece of the content that I made, which is all good. It's fair use. It's how it works. All gravy, man. Promotion, right? But he did that in a disingenuous way, to clip it off and make sure that the context after what I said would only suit the narrative, which I notice is the only reoccurring theme in his career. Building false narratives and pretending they're real. So much so that his ride or dies never bother to do the research. They take his word at face value every time. And I'm tickled. I'm absolutely tickled. It hits me right in the feels, like in all the good places, to know that I'm seeing more people wake up to this shit and call it out. His detractors, his once fans that are now saying and all the things I think that they've been thinking, and he had an opportunity. He had a bridge with IG instead of making it into a complete manic Adderall laced joke. Instead of that, he ignores every fair critique from his honest, hardworking fans just so he can keep the fog on, to keep those, he'd probably call them hater blockers. No, man, that's not what you're doing. And then you double down and go even further and say, if you took your HP sticker off, well, screw you, I don't want you to have one anyway. What a childish response to a self-proclaimed millionaire. And I have no doubt he's a millionaire. With all the royalties and the music, whatever the successes his albums have seen, this is a man with every blessing anyone could hope for. And he's just shitting all over it. He is the pigeon on the proverbial chess or checkerboard, all over the place. That's why there's so many successful country rap artists, or country singers, or just rap artists, all the above. The entire genre is turning on him, and a lot of them were once friends. I'll never ever understand why he went after Just in Time. I still think it's embarrassing for him the way he turned on ACAL when he did everything he could to avoid taking this to social media. But Upchurch sees revenue and attention when he knows that he can gaslight somebody into feeling that they can do nothing more, not go to his house and knock when he didn't accept the visit, and had somebody, a maid or something or someone, take like a necklace that he wanted to give back to him that meant something to ACAL at that time, and he ignores that. And then finally, sadly, ACAL had to address it because Upchurch pigeonholed his ass into that corner. So Just in Time, Chase Matthews, Brondax. It starts with such a stupid little thing, and it's all pride, ego, and narcissism. And apparently, your boy can't outgrow these toxic traits. He's sitting here calling Adam Calhoun, making fun of him for being older. He had the caucasity to make fun of a white guy that had a beer belly with a beer can in his hand. Like the majority of his demographic is not just that. When you think of the cast of King of the Hill sitting out front on their porch or the front of their house, drinking a few beers, letting their guts hang out, come on, man. Like, think about your own demographic. Reality check. These are the people that listen to your music, and you're clowning on them, son. You're clowning on everybody, but you fail to realize you're Pagliacci here. You're the crying clown. You're the one that doctor said, you know what, I got an idea for you, church. There's a great clown in town. Go see him. But doctor, I am Pagliacci. I am Upchurch. And the whole twist with Dagburn, who is now taking a new name. He's been graced and knighted with a new name. OJD. Look, hey, in the spirit of not taking sides, okay, because that's very controversial, and I tagged gotcha. I don't care if anybody gets the wrong idea here. I personally don't have like a literal personal issue with Dagburn. He's always been cordial. Only one time we went at each other in a chat, but and this is not a critique. I'm noticing he got that interview with Hoosier, and I don't want him to sacrifice who he truly is just so he feels he has to stay in the good graces of a community that was once at his neck and on his neck, going after his family and critiquing every little thing under a microscope. And now there's about 90% of that very community that's like, oh yeah, OGD or whatever. He's like the GOAT now. He slapped the old guy and he knocked down the oh, fuck off. For real? Sorry, that was Upchurch calling, telling me to STF you. And he knocked down the guy with the red slippers. Okay, that's a W. You 15 minutes are back. I just sincerely, Dagburn, apparently you watched some of my shit. That's been made clear to me. I just hope you don't forget, just like I have said with Captain Kurt, when he did that shit and put me on the spot when I was busy at my job and made me feel like my whole credibility was contingent on responding to your demands right then in that moment. And, I've forgiven and I wish you success, sir. The karma has caught up. Church has blocked you. I'm sure that hurts a lot because apparently I don't know. He has a tramp stamp or something. I don't want to try the dude on some false pretense, or he has a tattoo of some kind. So comeuppance come to everybody. I've learned that that's a fact. I have concerns about Dagburn. If he screws up again and Creek Squad considers it like a mistake, even if he didn't make a mistake, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong at that point because you have just succumbed to the cult/mob mentality. You talk to the wrong person. Like, it's not lost on me. 3 days ago, your heart reacted my comments, and then since, it's okay. I'll live with it, and I'll live with myself. But since then, it's been freaking, your views are skyrocketing. You're back with Creek Squad, the very community that was built to hate you. I mean, I think Upchurch's career was almost built on hating you with a passion and making entire albums about you. And now you're besties, and I'm glad that was a goal and that you've met that goal. Of course, you understand not everybody's going to understand or feel the same way. It shows some level of growth, and I'm glad for that. But I hope the point is not lost on anybody. And if there was a point to be made, I think I've said it a couple of dozen times already by this time here. It is simply that you know exactly what you're doing and you know exactly what's happening. And if you claim otherwise, you're lying to yourself. You know when it looks bad for your boy, you know it looks bad for the community that represents him when certain activities are excused. And all the infighting and inner devouring, that's another byproduct. It's another byproduct of being in a cult. Because independent thought is not celebrated. And it's exhausting to think you have to stay in a certain line day in and day out. And I guarantee you, even the most so-called loyal will break. Look at Deerdorf, a man that knew Upchurch, 20 years, best friends. And over some dumbassery, Upchurch throws a tantrum, cancels his tour, blames Deerdorf for all of it, that poor guy. And there you have it. So just celebrate thinking independently. I'd recommend, if you want like some food for thought, check out Gotcha Man's kind of evolution. You be the judge, because I don't know. I can't think for everybody. Is he swaying with the wind and just going where he gets the most attention? Because I saw a clip, Gotcha Man got to hang out with Calhoun at the Redneck Rave. They sang together. He flew him out or something to that degree. That one point, just, if you fact check it, I'm wrong, but I know they got to meet. So if you think he got bought off or goes that way, that's all well and good, and I'm interested to see your opinion. But me watching those clips like I did in a row, it really looks like just yet another person. Another person that went hard for Ryan Upchurch because of all of the little trappings and all the clout and the donations, all the money and the underhanded money and the rich people that talk to you in the back streets that never actually make public appearances. They try to literally take your soul and your voice for you and weaponize it. And I was that weapon for about 4 freaking months. It's a long time ago, but now I feel so liberated to now be able to say whatever the hell I want. And it's reassuring to know that I don't have to give a flying shit what anybody has to say. Bear that in mind before you hit the button and agree to put yourself out there. So, okay, I'm going to put some actual topics together because, hell, man, the breaking news today was Iran actually fired at, what was it, an embassy or a military installation. We had no fatalities on our side. That was some hours ago. There's more important things in the world. I wish a lot of people in general would just remember that. I want to collect some of that content. But remember, I opened this up with saying Gotcha Man videos was what hooked me. And I did save a bunch because there's some clips I do want to replay, react to, or just show the good people. Let me see what we got real quick. Probably just an attention thing. What's Bass Girl? Okay, I lost. Independent thoughts. Thoughts for days. Remember when it was just music? Yes, by God. Great White Wolf. That's what I'm talking about. What happened to like the simplicity, the wholesomeness of, hey, I'm a reactor, so I'm kind of supposed to be a little unbiased, or hell, afford me being somewhat biased because I'm building this brand around this one specific artist. Like, I'm a big fan. But any diehard fan has to at least have the balls, the stones to say, okay, this track was kind of weak, and not have an entire community go all Iran on you and throw a few missiles at you. I would not want to be Iran right now. They have FA'd, FO'd, man. So this has been quite a journey. I don't remember, this channel is whatever I make it. So I don't know if it's a vlog. It is manic, just like me. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Nothing can ever stop that unless I stop breathing. And all I would hope is that everybody can just simply be true to themselves and call out the shit when you see it and have absolutely no apologies about it. I promise I'll read every comment, as I always do, and I do respond painstakingly, one at a time. I enjoy the discourse. That's what it's all about. And now I find myself reminiscing, kind of remembering a time when music reaction channels were just that and nothing more, instead of being battlegrounds and places where people had to demand where they stood and then police what other people did. We lost the plot. The internet really ruined us. Or we ruined the internet. Chicken or the egg. I don't know. You tell me. God bless. I'm out for now. Bass Girl, I adore you. And yeah, thank you, Great White Wolf. Welcome, and thank you for the true words. Stuck. I miss you, G. Where the hell you been? Alright, everybody. Hopefully I'll be back tonight. I gotta wake up at 4:30. Wham. Work. We all gotta do it. Take care. And listen to your music with impunity and enjoy it. By God.